Hey everybody, it is the first day of the new decade. It is January 1st of 2020. Holy crap, it's crazy. And I wanted to make a video that is real and hopefully not depressing. So, some of you guys know that I battle with anxiety and depression and borderline personality disorder, which is not the same thing as bipolar personality. Bipolar personality disorder, or whatever it's called, bipolarism. And today is one of those days that is extremely difficult and challenging. And I to be straightforward, I am trying to hold on to a meaning for my life. Like, I came in the office and I kind of just sat down. I'm just like, what is it? What am I living for? And then I feel bad about questioning what am I living for, because it makes me feel as though I'm not being appreciative of the fact that I'm alive. My brother is gone, my mother is gone, my father is gone, and I'm lucky enough to be alive. So when I have feelings like, what's the point of my life, or what's the meaning of my life, I feel so guilty. And I'm trying to do better about not cursing for religious reasons, for my Christian faith, whatever. I say whatever because I feel like a bad Christian. It's like this negative narrative and story in my head that really, I was gonna say kicks me in the balls, but I don't have any balls. It just kicks me across the face and knocks me down a lot. If you can relate to that, definitely share your testimony below. But I wanted to share it because I'm just, as a lot of people can relate, I am very tired. These last 5 years in particular, between my parents dying and today, which was, my parents and my brothers died March 2014, and it is January 2020. So, wait, has it been more than 5 years? 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Holy shit, it's been more than 5 years. So, yeah, these last 6 years have been trying, to say the least. Holy crap, I didn't realize 5 years had already passed. This was a shitstorm. In 5 years, I feel like I lost, quote unquote, everything. It's like I gained the whole world, but still have nothing. And I feel pretty guilty about that. When I say I gained the whole world, I had received a substantial inheritance, in most people's eyes, in the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I found myself in a place where I had all of that money and nobody to share it with, which is hilarious because it's usually when people start calling out of the woodworks, and there were definitely some people who did, but more times than not, I couldn't get my friends to take my money. It's just hard. I'm trying to figure out what am I fighting for? Why am I living? What is the point? And this cycle happens like over and over and over and over again. And every time there's a major life event or there's a major loss, whether it's the loss of a family member or members, like in 2014, the loss of a relationship, the falling apart of friendships, it just all kind of reinforces. What the fuck am I doing all this for? Oops, I cussed. Sorry. What am I doing all of this for? And you read articles on Google because Google's like my official parent. But that was the case like before my parents died. Google's been my parent since like 16. You read articles, personal development books, the Bible, all of these resources that remind you and give you these different reasons to live. Live for God, live for others, live for yourself. And I took the path of least resistance and lived for myself for 2 years. I traveled the world. Again, feel really guilty because you would think, literally, I feel like I had the world but had nothing. Because I was able to go to places, amazing places, beautiful places, places that I'm already ready to go back to, but nobody to really share it with. And you read articles about, hey, how to be happy traveling lonely. But for me, I feel like I was traveling because I was empty, because I was filled with grief, and because I was filled with loss. At that time, my parents had died. My relationship with my 5-year, well, he wasn't my boyfriend. We broke up in the first year, but he was kind of still around for 5 years. If y'all ever experienced that. The man that I loved, present and past tense. And it just fell apart in my hands. All of it. My family, my love life, lost my home, my childhood home, and my parents' home. Some of that's my fault. It's not that I lost friendships, it's my friendships weren't equipped. I mean, when they passed, I was 22. I was just graduated from Air Force basic training. I didn't have a lot of friends before I joined the military. Also my fault. But the people I called friends after the fact, they weren't equipped, or they just couldn't, or what can anybody really say to you when you've experienced a massive loss? What can anybody really even do? Some of us can articulate what we need, but some of us don't even know what we need. And what we think we need sometimes isn't what we really need. I don't know if this is a philosophical video or not. I just needed an outlet, I guess. "2020 is supposed to be the year that I do what I've always wanted to do, which is what I attempted to do after my parents died, because people are like, you gotta live for you gotta keep living. They didn't come out to your graduation just for you to pretty much be depressed. So I feel like I'm still trying to live and be happy. Like, me and my parents weren't super close when they died. More like I just wanted my parents to acknowledge me. Middle child syndrome. I had a great relationship with my little brother and sister. I think it's because of those two that I had that the relationship with my mom and dad was really starting to be bridged and healed. Never, and to this day, do I have a relationship with my oldest sister, and I don't. It gets pretty legalistic when I deal with her. I'm always, for one reason or another, being threatened with some type of legal force for not doing whatever she thinks I should do. The other one, my half sister, I just absent. Probably. Me, not her. She's fine. She's normal. I feel like everybody else is normal and I'm fucked up. I mean, messed up. I'm tired of being resilient. I'm tired of being perseverant. I am sick of it, over it. But whatever. You can be sick of it and over it all you want, cupcake. But you still gotta live through it and exist the next day and the next day. But ideally, I want to get to a place where I'm not just existing, but that I'm joyful, that I'm thriving, that I'm living the life I've always wanted to live, and that I'm happy with who I am, and then happy in life with what I'm doing. And ideally get to the point where I can be happy living just for myself, because everybody else outside of yourself, in my personal experience, can't speak for everybody else, anything else I attempt to build my life on feels like sand, and it quickly disintegrates. Whether it's due to loss, maybe they move, maybe they have a kid, maybe they enter a new life stage, whether I was just a messed up human being which put too much pressure on them and they just decided that they can't handle it and slowly drift away, or whether I get some PTSD symptoms and blow up completely at them until they're just like, yeah, no, why am I dealing with this? You're the messed up one, I'm normal, and then they go away. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And I don't have a perfect solution on what to do. It's like, every day you take micro baby steps forward, and a lot of time life inevitably happening takes gives you a kick in the face. I was gonna say Hadouken, but I probably using the reference incorrectly. But it's like a Mortal Kombat kick across the face that you go Like, that's my life on a regular. So you might be like taking micro steps forward and you're just gone. No, it's not funny. And then if you try to do things the right way, you try to heal the right way, you avoid the common ways of coping with grief, like sex, recreational drugs, alcohol, including alcohol, in particular. Recreational drugs and alcohol, sleeping, eating, angry outbursts, or just paralyzing stagnation. It's crazy when you try to avoid all of those very normal human reactions to grief. It starts to feel stagnant. Oh, and excessive shopping. Ooh, excessive shopping. I've had a problem with that. I feel like I've used a lot of that stuff just to give me something to do. The good news is, I do get a disability check from the military. I am out of the Air Force. I've never been one to work a job. Like, on a day like this, if you were to tell me to go in and go to a job, I would look at you like you're crazy. Because I'm just not feeling it today. And I think that's why I've always had a hard time maintaining a job, because I've never made the commitment to just... I've never grown up to get to that point where chosen to grow up to get to that point where it's like you go to work whether you feel good or not. You work whether you feel good or not. This isn't. But a lot of people are like that because they have to work. But then when the financial obligation, like when you financially don't have to work and you don't feel good, and they tell you come into work even though you feel like absolute crap, you just look at people, you're like, haha, no, have a nice day, and you don't show up, and then of course you lose your jobs, and it makes existing hard. But it's like, self-sabotage is the word that comes to mind. You destroy yourself. And it's challenging. Because you don't want to destroy yourself. You don't want to do the thing. You don't want to self-destruct. But you literally suck at adulting and making yourself do the things that you quite frankly don't want to do. Hashtag self-discipline. Hashtag being an adult. So living to become an adult while going through grief, while going through loss, while feeling like you're by yourself, whether you caused it or life in general caused it with death or sickness and illness or whatever. I'm left asking myself, what now? Why am I doing this again? What's the point of this? And I'm really fighting to give myself a reason to keep fighting. And sometimes, back to that micro baby step, sometimes my reason for fighting is to make it to the next second, to make it to the next eye blink, to make it to the next hour, to the next 24 hours, for the next week, next month, next year. Especially if you don't have too much hope that you're gonna get better. Everybody can change. Everybody can change. It takes strength to change. It does, man. I don't know. I guess this might resonate more with people who do suffer. Maybe I'm just coming off as a victim. At this point, hands up. Don't fucking know. Don't care. My head is a maze and it's challenging to get out. Because to make change requires doing something different over a consistent period of time, and sometimes your emotional state can kick you in the face. And what was consistent now becomes thrown off, and you're told to just hop back on the habit wagon, but that just took the wind out of you, and you're just like, I don't even know how to get up, let alone keep walking. Whatever. Not whatever. Trying to acknowledge my emotions while being honest. It hurts. Everything hurts. I'm lucky to be in a first world country, because if I'd been anywhere else, I wouldn't even have time to feel this bad. I'd be existing. I'd be surviving because I had to, because I'm hungry, or I'm cold, or I need to work to take care of, or to get to the next day. Life is great, but life is also hard. That's where I'm at. Yeah, 2020. I'm learning how, despite all of that was said, I am learning how to keep my eyes focused on Jesus in the boat. Because I am sinking and I don't want to sink. And I'm just like, okay, Jesus, I'm following. I'm existing. Not tapping out. You know how bad I'd love to tap out. But I'm trusting you that you're gonna sustain this for whatever reason is in your head. You know better than me. Maybe I just exist to give away all my money and to help other people and be the best darn resource you've ever made. But there's going to be a certain point where I'm not going to be able to give anymore because I don't have anything left. Just fizzed out. If I don't change. So that's partially what this YouTube vlogging video thing is about. It's about the real uncensored walk behind the brand. What I really feel. It's crazy because a lot of people see me smiling, happy, and energetic, and a personality, and I am. That is part of who I am. The other part of who I am is what you see here. Mental health walk. Yay. You know what? I don't even think I'm gonna edit these. Oh, did I tell you I'm afraid to edit? That's another thing. I'm afraid. I think that's part of the reason I've been avoiding YouTube is because I'm like, oh, I don't know how to edit. Like that stupid fear that doesn't, like, it's like, that's learnable. Go learn how to edit and then you'll know how to edit. Silly Billy. I'm sad. Like, I'm really sad, y'all. I don't feel like crying. There's no point. I cry, don't get me wrong, but for what? You're just gonna exist in the next minute and the next day anyway, so you might as well keep moving. Fuck it. Stop cussing. Sucks. Hopefully, this walk gets better. Hopefully. Yeah, I don't think I'm just complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining about the same thing over and over again. Like, I'm really bad at being empathetic to the feelings of other people, which is crazy because I totally want people to be kind and empathetic with me, and then I just become this harsh, coarse, like hard booty when people are going through it. I just blah. If y'all watch this, if y'all can empathize with it, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and get a life and put this on the internet because maybe this uncensored walk will help one person feel like they're not going through it by themselves, and maybe that's what they'll need to get through the next minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour. The water. It's like a worm on my head. I hope this helps somebody get through the next minute, hour, day. Having faith that God truly does have something for you tomorrow. I have no idea what it is, sweetie. Don't even ask because I don't know either. But I believe that He does for me, and I believe that He does for you. That's all I got right now. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. And I can't promise I won't tap out, but I can promise that God will be God, and everything He's done for me and everything He continues to do for me will be my reason why I don't tap out. If that ever wanes, it wasn't God. It wasn't God's fault. It wasn't His fault. If I ever wane, it's because I took my eyes off him. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep going. No tapping out. Fight on. Fight to go back to Japan. Do something. Find something to fight for. I remember I talked on stage once. I was talking about you gotta fight like hell. Yeah, it's hard that I'm talking about Jesus and cussing at the same time. I kind of really need. I'm praying about it. Pray for me. Pray that God tapers my mouth, because goodness and blah 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 cannot flow from the same mouth. Some type of scripture. I gotta get better at scripture. Alright, I'm done. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Happy 2020. It gets better. Watch me as it does. Alright.